Evening, everyone. I call the regular City of Prescott Council meeting to order. It is Monday, October 13th at 6 o'clock. Do a roll call. Maureen?
Here.
Adam?
Here.
Gar?
Here.
Ben?
Here.
Lindsay?
Here.
And Mike is excused. Everybody stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everyone. Next item on the agenda is public comments. The council will receive public comments on any issue related to the agenda. Limited discussion by the council may take place. Okay, hearing none. Next item is the consent agenda. The City Council minutes from September 22nd, Finance Committee minutes from October 1st, Planning Commission minutes from October 6th, General Fund balances from September, cash balances September, and paid invoice report from September.
A motion to approve the consent agenda items 1 through 6.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. Is there any discussion on the motion? Not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carried. Next item on the agenda is reports of standing committees and commissions. Finance Committee report. Matt, you want to take that?
Sure. Get to the right location here. The minutes. So Finance Committee met on October 1st. This is part of our annual review for the 2026 budget. We started with an overview of where we're at with the 2025 budget. Rochelle did a good job of doing an overview within the minutes, so I won't go over everything. And then we moved to the 2026 budget. This is where we meet with each department: water, sewer, storm, public works, parks, fire and EMS. It's really a lot of detail within the minutes, so I would encourage everybody to look at the minutes, and we'll be making a Facebook post on the upcoming budget on our Facebook page on the budget, and then posting on our website as well. The one item that we are moving forward with that we decided was the compost site, as a result of increase in what we're seeing in dead ash trees and the increase in the amount of items that are being brought, that we're doing a $20 increase, annual increase across the board for both residents and non-residents. So that will be within the budget. And then at the end, we approved moving forward with the public hearing, setting the 3% cost of living increase adjustments for employees and moving forward with that budget. So on the November 10th, we'll be having a public hearing for the approval and for people to give their input as part of that.
That was November 10th?
Yep, November 10th council meeting.
Okay, next item is Planning Commission report. Okay, we talked about Pine Meadows, site plan, land sale, develop agreement. A lot of that's in your packet. I'll be going over that. I can't find my minutes on here, Matt. Can you help me out here on the Planning Commission? I got the Pine Meadow, but I know we had a lot that talked about.
Yeah, so we had Pine Meadow, then we reviewed the Foley development agreement and the site plan. So that will be coming to the next council meeting for agenda, or for next council agenda for review and approval. Then we discussed the CSM, which is in your packet, which we'll be talking here in a little bit. And then we reviewed Chapter 7 of the comprehensive plan with Plan Commission, which is utilities and community facilities. So we just did the intro to it, and next meeting we'll be reviewing goals, policies, and objectives for that chapter. I'll include in the next packet because I'm not seeing, I must have inadvertently forgot to put it in the actual packet. So I'll put the minutes in the actual packet for next meeting for Plan Commission.
Okay, thank you. Okay, the next meeting is Monday, November 3rd at 6. Parks and Public Works, next meeting Monday, October 20th at 5. Health and Safety, next meeting Monday, November 10th at 5. And Personnel Committee, next meeting Wednesday, November 5th at 5. Next item on the agenda is communications and new business. Council will receive public comments on any issue not related to the agenda. Limited discussion by the council may take place. However, no action will be taken on any item, including receiving written requests, documentation, possible action at a future meeting. Okay, the next item is Pine Meadows Capital Investment Partners. It's Resolution 47-25, approving the site plan review for the new multifamily development at a proposed 1600 Pine Street and 1541 James Street. Matt?
Thank you, Mayor and Council. So the Pine Meadows has a number of items before you. I think it is 7 total. So it's, even though it's not a large project, it is one of our first multifamily projects that we've had in quite a number of years within the city of Prescott. So it is being proposed by Capital Investment Partners, and Bill Albright, one of the partners with the organization, is here tonight. He's available for questions if you have some after I present. So the location is just right across the street here on Pine Street. What the proposed address will be, actually, one building will be 1600 Pine Street, and we'll be working with the developer. The second building will be 1541 James Street. So this will be 2 12-plex residential buildings on a 1.3-acre site adjacent to what is now the Prescott Housing Authority. And the target for this development is age 55 plus and intends to incorporate affordability. So we'll be talking more about that in a second. So one of the things Capital Investment Partners put together of why are they looking at Prescott and specifically choosing Prescott for this project. They see an estimated population growth within our community for about 10% in the next 5 years. The proximity to the Minneapolis Metro and St. Paul Metro area, downtown St. Paul 21 miles, downtown Minneapolis 30 miles. The large investments within our schools that the school district is making, and additionally the schools within our community rank in the top 20% of the state with a 14-to-1 ratio of students to teachers. Additionally, in 2022, we did a full housing report, and one of the things that Prescott has, comparatively to a lot of other communities, we have a very high ownership rate, so there's a demand that they see for potential new rentals as people are looking at the Prescott market, and they quoted some of our findings within our housing analysis. Extreme lack of available and easily developable land within the city of limits. The city must carefully consider ways to maximize the land, and that's specifically what this project is looking at taking some existing land that is underutilized. So right now, the land that is proposed for this is owned by the Prescott Housing Authority. The Housing Authority was established in 1979 for both seniors and disabled housing. The 2 existing facilities, St. Croix Manor was built in 1979, and the Water Tower Apartments was built in 1981. In 2021, they completed assessment of the current buildings because they have aged, and they found that about just over $3 million in repairs is needed. So one of the things the Housing Authority reached out to discuss was what's the opportunity for selling their underutilized 1-acre parcel to fund improvements, as they were not looking to ever move forward with developing something themselves there. The other thing that they're currently pursuing that's separate from this, but just wanted to mention it, is that they are looking at the USDA Rural Development NPR program for further aid to make improvements at those 2 buildings. So surrounding land use, to the north is the Prescott Nursing and Rehab and TCLAD. This is a highway commercial and I-2 heavy industrial. To east is I-2 heavy industrial. And then south is here the library, city hall, police department, and then west is the Prescott Housing Authority. So the design that they're proposing and the use does match the surrounding land use and our zoning. So we recently did rezone the parcel there from C2. That was done at our first meeting, I believe, in September. We rezoned it from C2 to high density residential. As an R4, currently the R4 only allows for 1 principal building and 2 accessory buildings. So what we're looking and asking the council to consider, and what the Plan Commission recommended for approval, was a planned unit development as a result of needing 2 principal structures on the lot. Some of the justification, this PUD would allow for both of those properties that occur. This is consistent with other family developments that we see in the city that include the Housing Authority itself. They have the two buildings, and also the Shane Park condominiums within Shane Park Circle. Additionally, this project, since it did start in about May when we first started having conversations with the developer, was brought forward under the old commercial zoning, so under the new residential R4. It would require a PUD for setbacks due to the constraints. This is similar to what we did in like Palmetto, that you'll see the twin townhomes, they don't meet the setbacks, and we approved that as a PUD as well. So just looking at this, so right now, under R4, front is 20 feet, rear is 20 feet, side is 12. Under the previous C2 commercial, they would be meeting that 25, 15, and 10. However, with the new, what they have then as they're proposing is 40 feet, 15, and then 10 and 25. So basically what we're asking for is a 5, or what the PUD would grant them was the 5 feet at the rear, and then the 2 feet on the north side property line. Parking and loading, right now our code calls for 1 stall per bedroom. There's 32 bedrooms within the proposal and 37 stalls required, or proposed, 32 required, 37 stalls are being provided. This includes 2 ADA, and this exceeds the minimum standards. Architectural standards, those must align with the surrounding character. This design mirrors and looks very similar to what is proposed, what's at the Housing Authority. Per our standards, the facade must articulate for widths over 100 feet. They are providing that within the wall planes, vinyl windows, composite siding, and cultured stone. They provided a similar development that they recently did that's going to mirror very much what they're trying to do at this site. You can see the articulation here with the bump outs, the cultured stone window, and composite siding. And then the interiors, we don't have any requirements for interiors, but just they provide some pictures to show what the interiors would look like. Per the landscape standards, per our code, they are required to put in 7 trees due to the frontage and 42 shrubs. They are meeting that, the trees at 7, and then there'll be 54. Additionally, our requirements for R4 is the impervious surface must be under 70%, and they are proposing 61.3%. So just to give you an idea where the trees are, one here, a couple in the corner along Pine Street, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 on the back, and then the shrubs are surrounding against the building in the landscaping. No exterior lighting is being showed within, but just to make a point of it, if any lighting is added, that it must meet the code 635-75. For stormwater, they're proposing 3 proposed bioretention filters. As a result of the site constraint, 2 of these bioretention ponds are actually shared between the Housing Authority and the Capital Investment Partners land. So there is an easement as part of this that basically states that they have the right to be there and that they're going to be maintained by Capital Investment Partners long term. And then the grading all drains away, and you'll be seeing that in a second when we get into the CSM here, you'll see. Utilities, so one of the things that is interesting for Pine Street, for whatever reason, we do not have water main that runs down Pine Street. So as we were looking at this project, they were proposing bringing the water, you can kind of see here in the picture, off of Jane Street and stopping here to serve both buildings. However, what we would like to do, looking at the future and looking at planning for this area, is eventually when we do open up Pine Street in the future is run a 6-inch water main all the way down Pine Street and connect. So that's a loop site. This will help with water pressure and redundancy. If we have water breaks currently right now, it is going to dead end right there. So just wanting to try to get ahead of that long-term planning. So as part of that, within the development agreement that is proposed, we would be on the hook, or our share would be for that to extend the water main, and then future looping would be $25,595. The sewer does connect off of the existing line on Pine Street. So one of the things that we have within the resolution is that the developer needs to coordinate with us, because Pine Street, the opening right here will be right across the street from where police and the EMS are. So making sure that we coordinate in advance so that they can either have their vehicles out of the building for the time period that is opened, or that we leave a lane for them to get in and out. The sale of the land, so the current land is owned by the City of Prescott and the Prescott Housing Authority. We originally purchased this land in 1978 before dedicating the land to the Housing Authority in 1979. Further than a piece of land that we bought was sold to the Prescott Nursing Home in 1984. So in between that, we also owned James Street. So what we found out through this process is essentially James Street was built, but it was never officially dedicated as right away as a street. So and the land was set aside for housing authorities. So one of the things that we're doing, and you'll see here in a sec, is we actually have something unique. We have 2 CSMs as part of this project to kind of break that up. An appraisal was completed by Bowery, and they gave the land a valuation of $240,000. As we talked about, what the issues that Prescott Housing Authority has, the full amount of the sale, minus some closing costs, is going to the Prescott Housing Authority to support building repairs and rehabilitation. So going over those certified survey maps, so the first map, so right now, the Housing Authority owns this full portion, and what the first CSM would do is take Lot 1, that would be the existing Housing Authority land. Lot 2 would be the future Pine Meadows land that Housing Authority currently owns. Then Outlot 1 would be the undedicated but improved portion of James Street, and then Outlot 2 would be the undedicated, unimproved portion of James Street. And just to touch base, this is where the bioretention pond is going to be as well. So then CSM 2 would further then, once that, we have to break that up for the title company as they're looking for the sales, so we can break it up based on ownership. So then the CSM 2 that's being proposed would combine Outlot 2 and Lot 3, and that would be the full proposed site for Pine Meadows. And then it would create a future, or a current, what it would be doing is dedicating the right-of-way, what is currently James Street. So a development agreement is being used. One of the things that we're looking at is some housing assistance within our affordable housing fund. As the Housing Authority is requesting this land to be both for seniors and affordable, many of the community have also talked and requested that we look at options for 55-plus senior living. So currently within our affordable housing fund, we have a balance of $349,000, or $349,041. So part of this development agreement, what's in it is the city is contributing $81,000 from our affordable housing fund, which would be given at the time of building permit for moving forward and developing. The city would then be equaling the land purchase value of $240,000 from the affordable housing fund, which would be given at the time of certificate of occupancy, so once it is fully built. And then, as I discussed, the $25,595 for reimbursement of the water main extension. As part of that, then the developer is obligating that they will maintain affordability and 55-plus targeting for 15 years. They'll submit an annual rent registry. They're going to pay standard impact fees of $88,136, and then maintain those stormwater ponds located both on the parcel and splitting the 2 parcels. So with that, Planning Commission approved all the items at their October 6th meeting. So there are 7 items before you. The site plan approval, the PUD, the approval of the purchase and sale agreement, the approval of the development agreement, and then the 2 resolutions approving the 2 certified survey maps. So with that, I'll turn it over to council for comments and questions.
I have one question. In the pictures that you showed, the bathroom has a tub and a shower component. Would occupants be able to choose a
ADA,
Yeah.
like a walk-in shower?
Yes.
Yeah, that's one of the things, they put those
Sir?
pictures in there because we built that, and that wasn't.
Sir,
Bill?
could you come up to the podium, please?
Yeah.
That way everybody at home can hear you?
Yeah, you bet.
Thank you.
Yeah, sorry about that. Those pictures that they put in there are of another project, and then that picture does not depict what's gonna be in this.
Okay.
We would not have tubs in this project, for that reason.
Yeah.
For handicap accessibility and so on.
Yeah,
So-
okay, thank you.
Yep, good question.
Any other questions? Okay, thanks.
Do you want me to start with separate motions, or?
Yeah.
Okay. I will make a motion for the approval of Resolution 47-25, approving the site plan review for a new multifamily development at the proposal 1600 Pine Street and 1541 James Street.
Second?
Okay, we have a motion, a second to approve Resolution 4725. Is there any discussion on the motion? Not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carried.
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 48-25, approving a planned unit development, a PUD, overlay for Pine Meadows multifamily development within the R-4 high-density residential zoning.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion, a second to approve Resolution 48-25. Any discussion on the motion? Not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
I'll make a motion for the approval of the purchase and sale of agreement between the City of Prescott, PM Prescott LLC, and the Housing Authority of the City of Prescott.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion, a second for the approval of purchase and sale agreement between the City of Prescott, PM Prescott LLC, Housing Authority of the City of Prescott. Is there any discussion on the motion? Do a roll call on this one. Maureen?
Aye.
Adam?
Yes.
Dar?
Aye.
Ben?
Aye.
Lindsay?
Aye.
Sorry, I had a brain fart.
There's a
keep
lot
going?
there. Pardon? Okay, but we have to carry a motion?
We just did.
Okay, so sorry. I mean, all these resolutions and motions, we're all getting kind of brain fogs here. Okay, I will make a motion to approve Resolution 49-25, certified map number 1 for creating two outlaws as part of the current housing authority of the City of Prescott and undedicated James Street.
We missed D.
I'm sorry, say again? Okay, I'll go back to D. I'll make a motion to approve the development agreement between the City of Prescott, PM Prescott LLC, and the Housing Authority on the City of Prescott.
Second?
Okay, we have a motion, a second to approve the development agreement between the City of Prescott, PM LLC, and the Housing Authority of the City of Prescott. Any discussion on the motion? Again, we're going to do a roll call. Lindsay?
Aye.
Ben?
Yeah.
Dar?
Aye.
Adam?
Aye.
Maureen?
Aye.
Okay, motion carried.
All right, so now we'll go to E. Resolution 49-25, certified map number 1 for creating two outlots as part of the current housing authority of the City of Prescott and undedicated James Street.
I'll second.
Have a motion, a second to approve Resolution 49-25. Is there any discussion on the motion? Not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carried.
And I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 50-25, certified survey map number 2, creating Lot 3 for the development proposed for Pine Meadows and formally dedicating James Street to the public.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion, a second to approve Resolution 50-25, survey map number 2. Any discussion on the motion? Not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carried.
You ready for number 3 yet? Are we
Yep.
doing any presentations on that one or not?
What, F?
Oh, I'm so sorry. Boy, am I off. Resolution 50-25, I'll make a motion to approve that resolution.
Didn't we just approve that?
Yeah, we just
that.
Wait, we
Oh,
just did that
do
one.
that one?
Yeah, no, we
Sorry.
just did that.
No,
one.
we
We're
are
on
on
number
3
3
now.
We are on number 3.
Yep.
Okay, keep straight.
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 51-25, approving the memorandum of understanding with the Prescott Housing Authority and housing expenditure for upper parking lot repaving.
Second?
We have a motion, a second to approve Resolution 51-25. Is there any discussion on the motion?
I'll just make one statement. So the parking lot we're talking about is this upper portion. We did get one quote so far from Asphalt Plus to do the work at $38,000. This agreement would basically split this cost with the housing authority. However, we're also going to work with capital investment partners to get a quote from their paving contractor to just compare, and we'll go with the lowest one. So the maximum amount that would be, and which is in the resolution, that is being considered would be $19,000 from our capital improvement fund.
Okay, we'll do a roll call. Maureen?
Aye.
Adam?
Aye.
Dar?
Aye.
Ben?
Aye.
Lindsay?
Aye.
Okay, motion carried.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I know people are already signing up for that housing.
Really?
I don't think he heard
I don't
me.
think he's here, Drew, either.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is approval of agreement between the City of Prescott and Cedar Corps for the land surveying services for city property adjacent to 1054 Wakota Street.
Thank you, Mayor. So since 2020, the city has been attempting to work with the property owner at 1054 Wakota Street to address property maintenance issues with little to no success. The most recent effort was in a letter that gave until September 1st. Although items have been pushed back further into the property away from Wakota Street, there's been little to no cleanup that has occurred on site. So before moving forward with any actions of removing the items, since the property is relatively older property within the city, the property lines are not clearly delineated. So what we'd like to do is move forward with a survey of the surrounding area. Cedar Corporation has put together a proposal that includes the title work that will need to be done for a total cost of $3,708. So once we get the survey back and they're clearly defined, we can move forward with addressing what items are on private property and what items are on the city right-of-way or within the city Public Works property. The Health and Safety Committee reviewed this proposal at their September 8th meeting and recommended moving forward to council for consideration. So just some pictures. This is actually the rear of the property. So many of these pictures aren't in the right-of-way. They're actually on city Prescott land within the Public Works. You can see there's an old dilapidated truck. We got, concrete stacks of wood, junk piled up. This is right in the right-of-way here. We have some sort of tubing and then additionally old tires and this fence. He actually put up, unfortunately, the owner, there's holes in it, so everything is still visible from the street. You can see through it. But so basically what we're asking for you tonight then is consideration of approval of that agreement, and then we can take the next steps forward with the property.
So we didn't hear anything back?
We saw them pushing the materials back. Eric, did you hear anything?
Times.
The old Cabana Joe's property's starting to look real nice though.
I don't know that reference, sorry.
He's working on that, not his own property.
Oh, okay.
Oh. Motion to approve Resolution 51, no.
No?
No.
4.
Number 4.
Okay, approval of the agreement between the City of Prescott and Cedar Corps for land surveying services for city property adjacent to 1054 Wakuta Street.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for approval of the agreement with the City of Prescott and Cedar Corps for land surveying services for city property adjacent to 1054 Wakota Street. Is there any discussion on the motion?
What was the cost on that again? I'm just curious. I saw it up there for a second.
$3,708.
$3,700.
And we felt it was imperative to have it done regardless,
Yeah.
because, just long-term getting a firm site of the
Yeah.
property and the surrounding street.
I'm good.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Next item is Resolution 5225, approving the federal funds for procedural manual.
Thank you, Mayor. So one of the steps from 2024 is our auditors, we have to do a single audit as part of receiving over $750,000 from the federal government. This was through the grant that we received through the Emerging Contaminants Fund for the improvements at well number 3. So as part of that audits, one of the findings that is being noted by our auditors is that we need to, or it's highly recommended, that we adopt a federal funds procedure manual that basically lays out the steps and procedures when we receive this funds of how they are accounted for and dealt with. So essentially that's what this manual will do, and it's an official adopting, so then our auditors can note that we have officially adopted the manual and the procedures. So with that, I'll turn it over to council for comments and questions.
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 5225, approving the federal funds procedural manual.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve Resolution 5225. Is there any discussion on the motion? Not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carried. Next item on the agenda is Resolution 53-25, authorizing temporary shut-off of sewer lateral service for SV Labs at 1115 Dexter Street and establishing conditions for reconnection. Matt?
Thank you, Mayor. So just to start off with Fabian Farmer, who's with SV Labs, he's the Vice President of Operations this year, and I'll turn it over to him in a second. But just to go over what we're asking for you to consider. So since early 2025, we've been working with SV Labs to reduce the daily concentration of wastewater, which have been exceeding our allowable limits within our sewer discharge agreement with SV Labs. Beginning in July of 2025, the testing from the sewer lateral from SV Labs has shown a significant increase in chemical loading, resulting in the city's wastewater treatment plant exceeding its Wisconsin DNR permit limits for July and August. During these times, and I do want to clarify that these limits that I'm about to go over are at the actual lateral from SV Labs. They're not within the treatment plant itself. So these are getting diluted as they go to our treatment plant. But the tests have shown that the BOD concentrations have been 7 times the allowable limit of 1,000 milligrams per liter. The COD concentrations have been 6 times the allowable limit of 2,000 milligrams per liter. And phosphorus concentrations have been 7 times the allowable limit of 8 milligrams per liter. And the reason that these specifically are so problematic for our sewer treatment plant is the way the plant works is the organisms that are there are essentially breaking down the phosphorus to allow us to meet the limit. The problem that we have when we have an excess amount of BOD and COD is it literally kills the organisms, so then we can't meet our loading limit. So SV Lab staff have been working recently to fix a number of issues, including reorganization of staff and on-site removal of waste through a company called Crystal Springs. Additionally, SV Labs has provided a long-term timeline of installation of a pre-treatment solution by June of 2026. However, what we're asking for you tonight is basically pre-approval of this resolution. We will not move forward with shut-off of the lateral unless we have issues with discharge again. And we are asking to move forward with working with SV Labs for an execution of a new updated industrial service discharge agreement, submission of a pre-treatment improvement report from Foth Engineering, that's the engineer that they are working with, including design details. They have provided an operational timeline, and then payment in full of all penalties that have occurred to date under our sewer discharge agreement. So with the approval from council, the shut-off would be held as long as compliance is being met and SV Labs is working with the city to address the issues above. So with that, I'll turn it over to Fabian.
Thank you. I appreciate it. So I wasn't prepared to speak, but thank you for your time anyways. One, I want to say that, yes, we have been working with Matt and the team to, one, we want to become good stewards of the community. I know that there was a different company prior to SV Lab purchasing the building, hence is why we joined the Chamber of Commerce, and you see our name on the Adopt a Highway. We want to make sure that we are part of this community and we continue to grow. I will say I've been here right at a year at this facility. I'm just relocated from Texas, and for the first 7 months, I didn't hear anything too much about the water. It was all, I guess, the last half of the year I've been here. I've heard a lot of things. And as Matt mentioned, we did do a restructuring with a new engineering team. The new head of engineering has already started the last couple weeks, and we also have a new head of maintenance that will start October 27th. So to have an evap unit and to bring installed, because what we generate and what we make over there are basically your normal household products, your shampoos, your conditioners, your deos, things that go down the sinks anyways. It's just the magnitude of what we make it. So my first 20 years of my life or work experience, I've been in the pharmaceutical industry. So I've made a lot of drugs. So we've had very similar things, just not to this level, because this is a smaller city which can't accept as much volume of water. Now, there's a lot of things that when I took over that we were dealing with this, between our quality issues and between, you have to get the business up and running, because our volume wasn't nearly there to sustain the building of that size. And now that our pipeline is strong and we're growing faster, now we're generating a lot more waste. So one of the things that we're talking about incorporating is a gamma jet system, which will reduce the number of water that we have to use to clean, because now there's a lot more automation, and you'd put in a recipe and it's almost like a robot cleaning your machines. Right now it's all manual. So we basically fill up our 50,000 gallon tank and just spray it all down, and then you have to deal with the sludge and try to scrape it out and things of that nature. But I will say that we are investing in the site. We in addition to that, we have the system. The EVAP system will probably cost us around $1 million to install, which will probably take, as Matt said, 6 months before we can get it installed. But I will say that between myself and the CEO, we're saying that we will not put anything back down the drain or the sewers. These are just some of my manifests and documents that we've paid over the last month or so, probably close to $100,000 just in taking our weights off site with Crystal Springs. In addition to Crystal Springs, we use Crystal Clean that take our water off site. So I just want to express on behalf of the company that we want to be good stewards to the city, and we want to remain in the city of Prescott. And we'll do everything that we can in my power to make sure that we are looked at in a good light. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Before you sit down, I'm really happy to hear this. This has been an ongoing thing for a long time, and not only just from SV Labs, but for the prior owners. And we kept hearing, yep, we're going to fix that, yep, we're going to fix that, and nothing's ever been done. So I'm really happy to hear that you are being proactive and taking that, because we want you to be part of our community, and that, but we also want you to be a good steward of the community as well. But thank you for coming and talking to us. I really appreciate that.
Absolutely. And as I said, I told Matt, I've taken members of the chamber on tours. I welcome people to come to this facility and see us. I'll be glad to show you around and show you, kind of what we do. I think, a lot of things that you guys are picking up in Target, Walmart, we probably make it. So we have a lot of big clients that are coming, and more that are waiting to see. And prior to beginning of last year, we were only we had 2 sites, us and in Watsonville, California. We just purchased a site in Toronto, Canada, also. So there we make a lot of different beauty items and OTC products as well. But thank you.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you.
Anything else? I think I'll make a motion to approve 53-25, authorizing the temporary shut-off of sewer lateral service for SV Labs at 1115 Dexter Street and establishing conditions for reconnection.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion, a second, to approve Resolution 53-25. Is there any discussion on the motion?
I would just, I guess, like to
Go
add
ahead.
one thing. I really appreciate Fabian and the work he's done with SV Labs, working with the previous company, and how hard it was to get anywhere with them. It has been nice to be able to anytime call Fabian and send an email, know I'm actually going to get a response. And I do just want to make sure that they're our highest water user, our biggest water customer in terms of utilities. So they're an important part of our community, and this is no way are we trying to, attack them. It's just, unfortunately, with the permits and the allowances that we have for the DNR, it's something that we are just looking to overall protect the community and the treatment plant.
Well, I was gonna say it speaks volume, you showing up today and speaking to this though, and talking us through it and everything, because as the mayor said, it has been an ongoing, predating my term here as well, but having you show up and speak speaks volume, so thank you.
Any other discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carried. Next item on the agenda is Resolution 55-25, approving a purchase and installment of a variable frequency drive for well number 3.
Oh, you
Skipped one.
one.
We're on 7.
Yep,
Oh,
number 7.
okay, we'll back up one.
We've all made mistakes tonight.
Resolution 54-25, approving a certified survey map to reconfigure lots 4 and 5 and CSM 5-17 subdivision. Matt?
Thank you, Mayor. So this was before Planning Commission. The applicant is Jason Wagaman at 1240 Pearl Street. And basically what's being asked is the transfer of the east 30 feet of Lot 4 to Lot 5. So what makes this somewhat unique is, look at an image here in a second, but Lot 5 is a C2 highway commercial zone district and Lot 4 is an R1 mixed residential. So we're just taking the back 30-foot strip, which would be removed from the R1 and then going to the parent parcel of a C2, so it become a C2 zoning within there. So this was reviewed by, like I mentioned, reviewed by Planning Commission when approved. We have found that the lot line adjustment is compliant and accessory structures on Lot 4 remain compliant with zoning. So just to give you an idea, this is the actual CSM. This would be the lot that we're referencing, the future Lot 12 as part of the CSM. It's taking that back 30 feet highlighted in yellow, and because it is currently gravel and the owner does not currently use it, will be given to this, the mini storage area as part of the Lot 13. So this is Lot 4 currently, and this is Lot 5. So this would be going from R1 to C2.
So is he planning to build more structures on that section then?
No, the applicant is actually the residential owner, and the reason
Oh.
he stayed at Plan Commission, he wants to move forward with this is it's currently an undelineated area that's kind of a mix of gravel and grass, so he's fine with the
Okay.
commercial property taking it. And it's just another view showing the rezoned area. So with that, I'll turn it over to council for comments and questions regarding Resolution 5425.
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 54-25, approving a certified survey map to reconfigure lots 4 and 5, CSM 5-17 subdivision.
Second.
A motion second to approve Resolution 54-25. Any discussion on the motion? Not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, now, Resolution 55-25, approving the purchase and installation of a variable frequency drive for well number 3. Matt?
Thank you, Mayor. So, council approved the replacement of a motor at well number 3 earlier this year. The plan was eventually to add a variable frequency drive to the motor at a later date to prolong the life of the motor and treatment equipment. However, Water Surplus, who is the contractor who is supplying the treatment equipment, after looking at the installation or during review of this, while they were installing the reverse osmosis membranes, is recommending that we move forward with the VFD before we install and go forward with regular operation. We did reach out. We have received 3 quotes. This lowest quote was from CTW Wells and Pumps out of Eau Claire. If approved, this payment would be dispersed then out of the city's water fund. So basically what this VFD will allow for intermittent starting. It can ramp up rather than going from 0 to 100 right away, and it just prolongs the overall equipment so the pressure isn't as instantaneous upon startup within the well and all the treatment equipment.
When would this be installed?
So it's a 3-week, so we're hoping by the end of October this month.
Was this a design flaw in the original engineering, or is this something new that,
This is something new. The original well 3 was designed in the 70s, and we had, I can't remember what it's called, essentially like a choke where it could start it at a lower level, but it would either be the lower level or the higher, and you had to manually set it upon
Oh.
the startup. So a VFD with the equipment, it will, actually, you can program it to start every time, and you can change that within this. So it's relatively new. It's new comparatively for how old the well is, but it's not that new relatively overall.
Going to kind of help modernize and make it more efficient, basically.
Correct.
And then they said that starting it up and hitting it with the pressure is probably going to wear out the equipment like
Even faster.
Yeah,
a lot faster.
Sure.
yeah, I read that in there. Motion to approve the purchase and installation of the VFD for well number 3.
Second.
A motion, a second to approve Resolution 55-25. Is there any discussion on the motion? I'll do a roll call. Maureen?
Aye.
Adam?
Aye.
Dar?
Aye.
Ben?
Aye.
Lindsay?
Aye.
I just did that on purpose.
Keep us on our toes.
Next item on the agenda is Resolution 56-25, approving lighting equipment installation at McGee's Park. Matt?
Thank you, Mayor. So on March 10th of this year, the council approved the McGee Park improvements at a bid for a total cost of $479,445 to Total Excavating. As part of that approval, one of the remaining items was looking at adding parking lot lights to improve safety and security for the lot, as discussed with the Health and Safety Committee. Public Works has received a quote from J.H. Larson, which is the same company that we have used for our downtown lighting project, for a total cost of three lights and the heads at $3,917. One of the lights would be placed atop of the sledding hill, and that has a timer that's being included in this $3,917. It would only be on during winter months, and it would be on, and it would automatically turn off each night at a certain time. The total project budget is $584,766, consisting of about $304 from city funding and $280 from a Knowles Nelson grant. So what the amount we've spent year to date, including total excavating bid, plus the design and construction management from Cedar Corporation and other smaller items, we still have a remaining budget of $30,663. So just to give you an idea of where these lights, so you can see the layout of the parking lot structure. The two lights to be added, one would be the far side along the stormwater pond, and one would be on the east side. These would probably this one would shift up and this one would shift down just to get more coverage. And then it's hard to see in this image, but approximate location of where the sled hill light would then be placed on the top here, maybe a little farther over actually. So, and that would be on the timer. So with that, I'll turn it over to Council for council questions. Again, the total cost for the lights is $3,917. And this would come out of the capital improvement fund.
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 5625, approving lighting, equipment, and installation at Maggie Park.
Second?
Have a motion, a second to approve Resolution 5625. Is there any discussion on the motion? Not, I'll do a roll call. Maureen?
Aye.
Adam?
Aye.
Dar?
Aye.
Ben?
Aye.
Lindsay?
Aye.
Okay, motion carried. Next item on agenda is Resolution 57-25, establishing a formal bench dedication program and policy for city parks. Matt?
Thank you, Mayor. So this was currently reviewed at Parks and Public Works Committee. I think it was all the way back in July, so it's taken us a little time to put everything together. But the purpose for the program is to establish clear rules for dedication of the benches within our public property, create a fee structure and generate a portion to go towards park maintenance, create clear style and location guidelines, and define duration and maintenance of the benches when we do put them in. And then also it is to set up a database for these dedications in order for us to have contacts. One of the issues that we experience is right now we have benches dedicated throughout the community. They're all different styles, different looking benches, and we don't know for some of them who donated them and how to contact them. So trying to create a more formalized process. And then as part of this, we'd be reviewing that each year as part of our incorporating it within our city fee schedule and then reviewing that annually. So we'd have two different options. The first option would be part of the ones that are more away from the river. This is the blue bench that we've done two within Public Square Park. This would be Fairy Wonderland Park, Public Square Park, and Sunset Park. One thing to note, the benches that are actually going in, there are a couple benches that are stylized to match the playground equipment that the Healing Play Fairy Wonderland group is raising their own money, so those would be separate, and those wouldn't be dedicated, but these would be any supplemental benches that would be placed within the park at different locations. This total bench cost is $2,000 right now for a dedication we'd be proposing, and then option two would be Market Mill Park, Jake's Park, really the whole waterfront area if we do have additional, and then Freedom Park. And that one is more expensive and more decorative, and that cost is $4,000. These are the same style benches that we put in phase one and are going in phase two. So with that, basically we're asking you to formally adopt the park bench dedication program. The application for, we'll be sending people who are interested is within the packet. If it is approved, then we'll be putting up a webpage so we can direct people there for information. So I'll turn it over to your council for comments and questions.
Motion to approve Resolution 5725-25, establishing a formal bench dedication program and policy for city parks.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion, a second to approve Resolution 57-25. Is there any discussion on the motion?
I have a question.
You good?
Yeah, originally, the park benches at Freedom Park were all supposed to match, and the tables out there, those are the concrete. They cost at that time close to, I don't know, $4,000 or $5,000, and they're enormously heavy. So I wanted to know if we are now going to say that we can mix up the types of benches at Freedom Park.
Yeah, under this program, we'd be the bench they had one that it was old that broke apart that somebody reached out to and is actually just recently got installed and it matches this. So we wouldn't necessarily be removing the old benches unless they required, because of deterioration, to be removed. And then we'd be replacing them as needed with this new style.
Did somebody actually demolish it on purpose? Because I don't know how it could have fallen apart.
Well, the one that was falling apart wasn't the concrete, it was like a wooden log bench that was sitting right towards the
Oh,
entrance.
that wasn't a bench. That was pulled out of the St. Croix as a survivor from the logging days.
Oh.
That's why there was a sign, an interpretive sign there. People did sit on it.
Yeah.
At no cost to us.
Yeah, Chuck delivered it one day.
So is there any other discussion on the motion? Not, all those in favor say aye.
Well, I want to know if we're going to leave
Those
the,
two,
okay, so
but
we are,
what's there is going to stay there.
oh, yeah, I understood that, but
And then moving forward,
those are the ones.
yes.
Okay, all right. What can I say?
Did we get an aye?
Let's do it again.
No, I
said,
think I
okay.
interrupted you.
So, other business, we have an intergovernmental meeting, Prescott Area Fire and EMS Association, Wednesday, January 14th at 7 o'clock. Do we have a location for that?
It's going to be,
I don't know the address there.
I don't know, it's going to be at the Oak Grove Town Hall.
Oh,
But we'll
wow.
put an address on it so everybody sees it.
And I know you guys are busy, and
No,
I
I'll be there.
appreciate your attendance there, because I hope it'll motivate them to come too, and we've got a lot of important things to talk about.
Cool, I'll be there.
Sorry I agreed to have it so far away.
I also wanted everybody to know that there's going to be a chamber luncheon that's going to have somebody talk about AI. And I was surprised. I was in a meeting the other day and somebody told me that they use AI instead of Google search. So, and I have not been using chat, or I know nothing about AI. So I think I would really like to attend. We're members of the chamber, right? Yeah. So it will only
When
cost
is that
$10. November 5th, I think. We all got a memo
You
about
have a
it.
meeting then. You have a personnel meeting then.
Yeah, but
is
November
lunch.
5th at noon.
Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
and then we'll
That's for the
have,
retired people.
yeah. You and me.
Any other business? One more thing.
Make a motion to adjourn?
Second?
Have a motion second to adjourn. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, we're adjourned.
Got the other.
Thanks, everybody.